Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Voice of Africa, your trusted platform for stories that celebrate the resilience, innovation, and unstoppable spirit of our beloved continent. Today, my heart swells with pride as I share a groundbreaking development, one that will echo through history as a defining moment for Burkina Faso and all of Africa. This is the story of Burkina Faso's bold military transformation under President Ibrahim Traoré, a seismic shift in African geopolitics that's sending shockwaves across the globe. This isn't just another news piece. This is history in the making, and you're here to witness it firsthand. The winds of change sweeping across Africa's Sahel region carry with them the unmistakable scent of revolution, not the kind marked by violence and chaos, but one defined by courageous decisions and strategic realignments. At the epicenter of this transformation stands Burkina Faso, a nation that has endured more than its share of security challenges, yet today emerges as a beacon of African self-determination. What we're witnessing is nothing less than the birth of a new paradigm in African defense and foreign policy, a paradigm where African solutions are designed by Africans for Africans. For decades, Burkina Faso, like many of its neighbors, operated within a security framework designed and controlled by external powers. The results, as we've all seen, were mixed at best. Despite billions spent on counter-terrorism operations and military assistance, the Sahel's security situation continued to deteriorate. Villages remained vulnerable to attacks, national borders proved porous to extremist elements, and the promise of stability seemed perpetually out of reach. It was against this backdrop that President Traoré and his government made a historic decision to fundamentally rethink Burkina Faso's approach to national security and international partnerships. The strategic pivot we're seeing today didn't happen overnight. It represents the culmination of years of careful assessment, behind-the-scenes diplomacy, and courageous decision-making. At its core lies a simple but revolutionary idea: that Burkina Faso's security should be guaranteed by partnerships that respect its sovereignty, understand its unique challenges, and offer solutions tailored to its specific needs. This is the philosophy driving Burkina Faso's new approach, one that prioritizes effectiveness over tradition and results over rhetoric. Let's examine the key pillars of this transformation in greater depth. The partnership with Russia represents perhaps the most visible and consequential element of Burkina Faso's new strategy. But to view this simply as an arms deal would be to miss the bigger picture. What's unfolding is a comprehensive security cooperation framework encompassing equipment, training, intelligence sharing, and strategic coordination. The armored vehicles being acquired aren't just weapons platforms. They're force multipliers designed specifically for the harsh Sahelian terrain. The artillery systems aren't mere showpieces. They're precision instruments that will give Burkina Faso's military unprecedented capability to project power and protect its territory. What makes the Russian partnership particularly significant is its holistic nature. Unlike traditional arrangements that often came with restrictive conditions, this cooperation appears designed to actually build Burkina Faso's indigenous defense capacity. The training programs for Burkinabe officers and soldiers aren't superficial exercises. They're deep, immersive experiences aimed at creating a new generation of military professionals capable of operating and maintaining sophisticated systems independently. This represents a fundamental shift from dependency to self-reliance, a theme that resonates deeply across Africa today. Turkey's role in Burkina Faso's security transformation offers another fascinating case study in smart partnership. The acquisition of Bayraktar TB2 drones isn't just about adding another weapon system to the arsenal. It's about fundamentally changing the dynamics of counter-terrorism operations. These drones provide persistent surveillance capability, precision strike options, and most importantly, the ability to project power without risking pilots' lives. For a nation battling elusive extremist groups across vast territories, this is game-changing technology. But equally important is the knowledge transfer and local capacity building that accompanies these acquisitions. The understanding that true security comes from mastery, not just possession, of advanced systems. China's engagement with Burkina Faso follows a different but equally strategic pattern. Rather than focusing solely on military hardware, China's approach combines defense cooperation with broader economic and infrastructure development. This recognizes a fundamental truth often overlooked in traditional security assistance, that lasting stability requires economic opportunity and social development alongside military capability. The roads, hospitals, and schools being built alongside defense cooperation aren't separate projects. They're complementary elements of a comprehensive national security strategy. Perhaps most intriguing is Burkina Faso's exploration of cooperation with Iran. While details remain limited, the potential acquisition of Iranian drone technology suggests a pragmatic approach to capability development, one that prioritizes cost-effective solutions with proven battlefield performance. In a region where defense budgets are constrained but security challenges immense, such pragmatic calculations make perfect sense. The reported interest in systems like the Mohajer 6 and Shahed 136 drones indicates Burkina Faso's determination to acquire capabilities that deliver real operational impact without breaking the bank. The strategic implications of Burkina Faso's new approach extend far beyond its borders. We're seeing similar realignments across the Sahel, with Mali and Niger pursuing comparable paths. Together, these nations are creating what could become a new security architecture for the region, one based on shared interests rather than imposed solutions. The joint patrols, intelligence sharing, and coordinated operations already taking place hint at the potential for even deeper integration in the future. This brings us to the inevitable question: why has this development caused such consternation in certain quarters? The answer lies in what it represents, a fundamental challenge to the established order. For too long, Africa's security landscape was shaped by external agendas and conditional partnerships. Burkina Faso's new approach turns this model on its head, asserting that African nations have both the right and the responsibility to determine their own security strategies. This assertion of sovereignty, more than any particular arms deal, is what truly unsettles the old guard. The economic dimensions of this shift deserve special attention. Traditional security partnerships often came with economic strings attached, aid conditionalities, procurement restrictions, and requirements to use donor-approved contractors. Burkina Faso's new approach liberates the country from these constraints, allowing it to make defense acquisitions based on operational needs rather than political considerations. This has immediate economic benefits, as seen in the growing defense-industrial cooperation with partner nations. The long-term potential for technology transfer and local defense industry development could prove even more transformative. We must also consider the human dimension of this transformation. For Burkina Faso's military personnel, these new partnerships represent more than just new equipment. They represent professional growth, enhanced capabilities, and most importantly, improved chances of returning home safely after operations. The morale boost from knowing one has the right tools for the job cannot be overstated, especially for forces engaged in difficult counter-terrorism operations. The diplomatic ripple effects are equally fascinating. Burkina Faso's new partnerships have opened doors in international forums that were previously difficult to access. The country now finds itself at the center of important geopolitical conversations, with its experience and perspective increasingly valued. This enhanced diplomatic profile creates opportunities to shape regional and global security discussions in ways that reflect African realities and priorities. Of course, no strategic shift of this magnitude comes without challenges and risks. Questions remain about long-term sustainability, about maintaining balance in international relations, and about ensuring that new partnerships don't simply replace old dependencies. These are legitimate concerns that Burkina Faso's leadership appears acutely aware of. If their emphasis on diversified partnerships and local capacity building is any indication. The road ahead will require careful navigation. Burkina Faso must balance its legitimate security needs with broader development priorities. It must maintain its strategic autonomy while engaging constructively with the international community. And it must continue building the institutional capacity needed to maximize the benefits of its new partnerships. These are complex challenges, but ones that Burkina Faso appears well-positioned to address. What makes this moment truly historic isn't just the specific deals being signed or equipment being acquired. It's the underlying philosophy driving these decisions. Burkina Faso is demonstrating that African nations can and should be architects of their own security destiny. This represents a fundamental break from the past and points toward a future where African security is designed by Africans for Africans. As we watch this story unfold, we're reminded that true sovereignty isn't given, it's taken. Burkina Faso's courageous decisions today are paving the way for a more secure, more independent tomorrow, not just for itself, but potentially for the entire region. The implications for African geopolitics are profound, and the lessons for other nations facing similar challenges are invaluable. To our cherished Voice of Africa community, your engagement and support make this important conversation possible. We invite you to share your perspectives in the comments. Do you see Burkina Faso's approach as a model for other African nations? What lessons should we draw from this bold strategic shift? Your insights enrich our collective understanding. If this analysis has illuminated important developments in Africa's journey toward true sovereignty, please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications to stay updated as we continue covering this historic transformation. Together, let's document Africa's rise in all its complexity, challenge, and triumph. Until next time, this is the Voice of Africa, signing off with a message of hope and determination. The future belongs to those who dare to shape it, and across our continent, we see nations doing exactly that. Peace and progress to all.